since we're now officially recording and live, welcome to my studio, Papa.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
nice to have you.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. Likewise. We've had a lot of discussions about, happiness and putting yourself and what you need first. And it's always something that I know I've struggled with because, and as a father, I'm sure you have too, because you're consistently looking out for family and making decisions, taking care of them. But what, for you, how did you navigate raising a family, supporting a family, and also making sure you took care of your needs as well?
Well, that's something that is passed on to you. From my parents, my dad worked 6 or 7 days a week, sometimes double shift, because he was the only one working and 11 kids. So you see your dad, how much he struggled, but how much effort he puts in, he doesn't give up. And he put us through school, and it was just a good example overall.
And growing up with 11, 10 siblings, right? You didn't really get to spend that much time with your dad.
No.
So what you learned was just all observation.
Observation and quality time, because if there was one thing that my dad gave us, was quality time. He would take 1 or 2 weeks vacation, but he would be with us all the time.
That's nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's something that, me as a father, I would see my dad very happy the times that we were able to see my dad. And that was one of the reasons why I guess I wanted to be like family man and more with my kids, because I didn't spend too much time with my dad.
I see. Well, I can tell you firsthand that translated. For me, at least. For me and Juliana, I know we got to spend a lot of time with you.
Yeah.
I always look back, and those are very fond and cherished memories.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things was, it's funny how I remember this. I was the only kid that wouldn't have nap time, and I don't know if it was pre-K, I think, but everybody would go to sleep, and I would stay awake and just have to be quiet, and I would sit there and draw, and then you would come and pick me up, and we would go to, I forget the name, but the Asian fish market, market, and we'd get a red snapper with pepinos, and we would have fish.
Fried
fish. Yeah, I remember. I think those are the little things that oftentimes get overlooked.
Exactly.
But it makes a big difference.
Of course. One of the thing that is really important is that when you really value the little things. Because when you have everything, or you think you have everything, the little things don't really matter.
No.
But
the
thing is that we are missing the little things, and those little things, it's what makes you happy.
Yeah. Yeah, we're so caught up in the everyday movement of life and trying to make sure your bills are paid and you have money for the next week or whatever the case may be, your car is running fine, that we forget that the little things aren't actually little.
Exactly.
So
those are the little screws that hold the engine, basically.
I have a tattoo of a little snail on my left shoulder, and it makes me smile every time I look at it, and it reminds me to enjoy the little things.
Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, we don't pay attention to the little things until something happened to us.
Yep.
Because it reminds you that how little we are. We are just
so insignificant.
A grain of sand
In space.
in an immense sea, ocean. So yeah, it's really important to pay attention to those little things. And then again, we don't see that until something bad happens.
Yeah. It's again, it's difficult. It's difficult to slow yourself down when there's so much going on and go, you know what? Everything outside doesn't really matter. It doesn't. Let me just take a second and breathe and make sure that I'm okay inside. And there's peace.
That's one of the most important things, that you have peace within you, and happiness is yours.
Yes. You know,
It's with you. It's in you.
yeah.
You just have to see it, like the little things.
There's a guru, I forget his name, but I like what he says about you're able to choose the emotions that you're feeling. Sure, you're feeling them, yes, but you can choose which you allow to affect you and which ones to move forward with.
Exactly.
If somebody says words to you that you don't like or offensive or whatever it is and it makes you feel a certain way, well, you're choosing to hang on to those words because you can just go, you know what, they said them, it's fine, it made me feel this way, but I'm just going to move forward. And you can even flip it to, I wonder what that person was experiencing today that they needed to release those emotions and feelings onto somebody else, that it wasn't warranted.
Well, I can tell you that people who offend somebody else or bully somebody else, it's an insecure person.
Usually comes from a place of hurt.
Exactly. And you also, I mean, I'm going to put you as an example because you had a choice to keep on going after what happened to you, or just say, you know what, the hell with it. I'm just gonna have people give me stuff because I'm handicapped or I'm hurt. But you made a decision, and little by little, I can see that you are creating your own happiness. Why? Because you got out of the hole where you were, and psychologically, really strong.
Thank you.
And I mean, from when you were a little boy, we gave you that mentality, really strong, and you used it when you really needed it. So that's, this, you save the sharp knife when the fight comes. That's basically what you did, and you made a good decision. And I'm really, really glad, and I thank God for giving you a second opportunity, and you're taking it well.
I'm trying to,
Yeah.
You try your best each day.
Yeah, and so you made a good decision. Other people would probably say, you know what, screw this.
I'll sit there and I'm gonna take the drugs.
Yeah.
Screw it. It's all over.
It's just like everybody,
Yeah.
You go through a divorce, you lose a girlfriend, you're not gonna kill yourself, or you got choices.
You will always start in that this sucks and this is the fucking worst. You will always, after any bad experience, you will always start there. Nothing bad. There's never a time where something bad will happen and you go, oh, great, now I can just do whatever. Now, and if you do feel that way, well, then it was a blessing in disguise. If you are like, oh my God, I'm alleviated now. If you were in a bad relationship and they decided to leave you, well then, that's good. Yeah. But if it's actually a bad thing, like something bad has happened, it's just going to suck. And if you sit in the feelings of suck, they just harden and you're going to create a shell that's going to be more difficult to break out of.
See, every time you get hurt, there's going to be pain. And there is going to be a process of generating yourself. With that, it depends on you. You need to understand what you're going through and the pain that you're going through. And being able to say, okay, so I have pain. Recognize that you have pain. but also recognize that you can go through it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only a matter of time.
Mm-hmm. And both paths are painful.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit there and wallow in the pity, and it's going to hurt. Or you can choose to push through it and try and better yourself. That's also going to hurt.
Exactly. And then we're going back to what doesn't kill you will make you stronger.
Yep.
I believe that
Let me move this to you closer a little bit.
I believe that people that are happy with them within, they're more able to go through a situation like that.
Yeah, I think it has to do with being being a positive person and an optimistic. If you're too stuck to realism or pessimism, then it doesn't allow you to look for a creative solution to whatever problem you're facing.
That's correct.
Yeah, I think keeping an open mind is very, very important, and also this is something that I'm continuing to absorb and accept and realize that the physical body that we attach ourselves and identify ourselves with, you look in the mirror and you see yourself, but that doesn't define you, because once we move from this plane, whatever we are moves on, but the body stays here. And for me, I lost part of the body, and I did identify myself as, I'm an athlete, I'm a runner, I can just get up and go, and I can jump, I can hike, I can do all this, like, it's fine, right? So there was a period of time for me where I didn't feel. There was a period, it was a brief period. I went from feeling useless to then, okay, now I can at least take care of myself, but I can't help anyone. And it was just because of the way that I was thinking, because I was thinking in the sense of physically, body-wise, I'm hindered here. But you start to remove it. Okay, body-wise, sure, I might not have the foot, fine. But mentally, I got to walk away with perfect brain, pretty much. Nothing happened in my head. My speech was great. I got to keep all my mental, everything that I've learned. So,
that was great, because that's what moves your engine, you know, and that's why you were able to
keep going, man.
Yeah, keep on going, and not to spend so much time at the hospital like they were. You were like you were supposed to. 6 months or something like that, and
3 to 4 months.
PSA to always wear your safety gear on bikes.
True, always wear your safety gear. Dress for the slide, not the ride. And funny enough, that the one day something happened to me, I didn't have all my gear, but I had the gear that was important. I would never ride without boots, gloves, and a helmet. Those are the 3 things that I would always wear, and
especially because if you're on a bike, when you're exposed, your chances to get into an accident are as many cars are around you, basically.
As many cars as
because
around
not
you.
all of us pay attention to the bikers.
Things coming off of cars. I evaded some stuff coming off of construction trucks.
Yeah,
I would be on the freeway in a bucket. And on a bike, a bucket, you're screwed.
Yeah,
car,
it's
going to hit it.
You just get hard and hoping it doesn't hit you. Yeah. It's rough.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
But it's all part of the journey, all part of life.
Yeah.
You know, things of learning. So when people ask me now, they're like, "Would you ride again?" I go, I lived 5 years on it.
Maybe a bicycle.
I usually tell them when I get land, I'll get back on two wheels, a little dirt bike or an enduro, so I could just ride around the land, like go explore my acreage. You know, what's the worst is gonna happen is I mess up and I hit a tree or something. You know, but like nothing can. I mean, I guess I've seen videos of like a deer or a bear coming out of the woods and just like sideswiping somebody. But a wildcat. But you know, I don't have to worry about traffic. So, but then even then, I thought about it on acreage. On a dirt bike or an enduro doesn't make sense. A little ATV is even better.
Yeah,
4 wheels, you can load stuff up. It makes more sense. So
but it's just like I think it wasn't your time, and when it's your time, even if you move,
don't matter. Yeah.
So that's going back to my dad. That's why I was so, or I always want to be close to my kids.
Makes a lot of sense.
And remember, we were talking about happiness. Happiness comes in many forms.
It also goes. So,
I remember we were discussing something, talking about like the homeless, that the government agencies, they want to put them into an apartment, or they want to give them a housing. And I remember Daniel, he said that you would be taking away their freedom. And they are happy with the little they have. So the government agencies that wants to give them a home, they also want them to stop doing drugs.
Stop doing drugs. You got to be back by a certain time. I think it's like, what is it also? Like you can't
to have a discipline.
Websites or something.
To have a discipline, basically, and start
There's a lot
coming
of regulations and rules for them to.
So I believe that I mean, they are happy how they are because they found a place and a way that makes them feel happy. But their happiness is not your happiness, nor mine.
That's correct.
For other people, would be to gather $1 million, right? But nobody's going to guarantee you that you're going to live long enough to enjoy that $1 million that you worked all your life to enjoy.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of people that they wait to retire until they're like 70.
And then at that point, what?
All their savings goes to the medicine they need to pay for the next 5 or 10 years they're going to live. So I believe happiness comes with the balance of what you do, how you work, and what do you like. If you like doing sports, you go and see your friends and play joke around, and that's what makes you happy. And that's your choice, because you already know what makes you happy, but also you can make the choice of not being happy. How? By stopping to do the things you like.
Or even, because I've been in that place too, where I'm having fun hanging out with my friends, but I can't stop thinking about this argument that I'm having with my girlfriend at the time, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm now no longer being present in that environment that I know makes me happy.
Yeah, your mind is someplace else. Yeah, when you put yourself in that situation, it's like you making yourself suffer, in a way miserable, because you're not enjoying where you're at, and you can't be where you want to be.
Yeah.
So I think that you need to make the best out of the worst situation where you're at.
Any hole you find yourself in, try and find the gems. Yeah, makes sense. What's one of the fondest memories that you have with your dad?
I took him to. It was his day off. One time that he had a day off, and I was with him, and he asked me, "Hey, tomorrow I have a day off. What do you want to do?" I'm like, "You know what? I gotta go to the office to fix some false ceiling and on Alfonso's office in Polanco." So I consider myself a very committed person, and so we bought the material and everything. So we're working, and my dad was sending me the tools.
Nice.
So I'm on the ladder and putting the lines and everything. And we got there at 7 a.m. And it was already 3 p.m. So I'm working and I'm just thinking about, we need to finish this. But I'm not even thinking about my dad not having food or anything. So I remember my dad, every time a pliers or a screwdriver, I'll see him and you can see that just tightening his...
clenching his teeth.
Yeah. And then like the third time I asked him for material, and he's like, "Hey, so what the hell is going on? Are you going to feed me or not?" I'm like, "Oh, sorry, Dad." So I stopped everything and we went to the store and I prepared him a sandwich. And that was one time that I never forget.
That's funny.
Yeah. And obviously I said, "Sorry, Dad." And went to the store and we ate and we didn't talk much. I remember. But when he was at the hospital, I was able to thank him for everything he gave us, for sending us to school and keeping us warm and food on the table. And it was very very nice. Very nice. He was a good man. That's all I have to say.
Well, I mean, I know you, and if you came from him, I can only imagine how he was. So, I'm one of the I'm in the group that didn't get to meet all of their grandparents.
Yeah, Alex met him and my mom. Juliana met grandma. You met grandma?
Yeah, grandma, not grandpa.
No.
And then Alex, I think, only met grandpa when he was little, so
once,
he says he doesn't remember.
In a wheelbarrow, he was carrying him.
That's cool.
He was pushing him on a wheelbarrow.
That's cool.
Yeah, good man. I sometimes think about... No, I'm good, thanks. I'm thinking about nowadays a person having 11 kids.
It's crazy.
Very crazy.
There used to be a show on, I think it was like HGTV or something like that, way back in the day. It was like 13 and Counting or something like that. Do you remember that show? Or do you remember?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It was basically just
9 and counting or something like that.
Something like that.
Lady was pregnant. They had 9 kids.
That was okay. So there was John and Kate plus 8. There was that one, which is the Asian and the white guy, the white lady, and then there was like a white couple in the Midwest somewhere that just had like a farmhouse, and they had like 13 kids.
I'm pretty sure the dad got in trouble for molesting the children. The Duggars, I think, is what they were called, or something like that.
From John and Kate.
Something like that. I don't remember which one. But I just looked, and apparently, right now, the cost of raising a child, the first year, it costs between $20,000 and $50,000. So 11 kids.
$1 million.
Yeah. Well, I heard just the hospital bill for delivery, it can be around like 20,000.
Yeah, 10 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we were little, we were on elementary school, and we would go to the creek, where people, the producers, would show up with the loaded trucks with sacks of carrots. So after school, we would head over to. We knew they show up at around 2:30, 3 p.m. And so we went there. My little brother Jose. We would make a little pool
Uh-huh.
and have him sit in the water.
The carrots? Oh.
No, we would
say-
make like a little hole on the creek,
Uh-huh.
on the edge, and we have my little brother just sitting there.
Okay.
And so we would go and ask the guys, "Hey, do you want some help?" And they're like, "Oh, okay." I dance on top of the sacks. So we're like dancing and moving, and then with our fat toe,
Uh-huh.
just like making a hole,
Make a little hole in
and
the
then
bag.
pushing the carrots out.
What the
So
heck?
then the current would take the carrots, and my little brother would like put it in the little pool that we made.
Uh-huh.
So we would collect at least, I'm gonna say easy 10 pounds
Damn.
in the pool.
Damn.
And then we finished, and then we just they started loading everything, and then we'll just sit right next to the creek on the outside, and we'll be like just looking, and they go, "Hey, muchacho, come over here," and give us like half a sack.
Nice.
So we'll grab it and then wait until they leave, and then go and get all the stuff from the pool.
Put the rest.
And we would go home, and my mom would cook carrots with egg. I mean, every time that we had the opportunity to go help somebody to pick onions as well, after the producers will do all the picking, then they announce it. Hey, there's going to be on a parcel, there's going to be onions. So we'll go with buckets and collect.
Nice.
Start digging and looking for onions and stuff like that. It was funny. It was fun. It was something I didn't take that as a, oh man, it was just fun. Within the misery, it was just fun.
Yeah. That's enjoying the little things. Going back to it, right?
Yeah, and then I remember that we had about 5 or 6 chicken. And my mama would send us to see if there was any eggs. And we go, "Mom, there's no eggs." So we knew there was gonna be some chicken soup.
Nice. How many? So, I know there's like specific things that you have to do when raising chickens. How many chickens did you guys have? And then did you have a rooster so that you would keep having chickens?
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
how would you manage it too so that, or I guess if you just get the eggs early, then you don't have to worry about them hatching, right?
Well, the funny thing is that in Mexico, you don't put the eggs in the refrigerator. You just leave them out, and they never go bad.
Interesting.
So you save them, and when the chicken is ready to go to the nest and create little chicken, little hens, yeah. She goes there, and it's weird because they go nuts. Yeah, they start like fighting, and they don't let the rooster jump them.
Huh.
They start fighting, so they're ready to go to the nest. So you get all the eggs and put them on the nest, and she goes there and covers them. And I think it's like 29 days.
Well, it's not that long.
No, 29 days, and then the eggs start cracking, and the
chicks come out.
chicks come out. Yeah.
Does the rooster try and eat the chicks?
No.
Interesting.
No, the chicken, the hen would fight them.
I see.
And she wouldn't let.
It doesn't let the rooster near.
No.
Not even the eggs.
No.
Very interesting. So would the rooster eat the eggs? Or
No. No.
what?
Nor the hen, the chicken. If there is one that tastes one egg, that's a bad hen already, because
She's gonna want to eat them all.
Yeah,
I see.
that's what's happening with Tio Mario's. They found the eggs like all poked, and they eat the inside. And so they caught that chicken, and like, oh, that's the one. So you gotta get rid of her, because she can teach the rest of them. Like there's something good in here.
Yeah.
We produce something good, so might as well eat it. So they got,
and that stops your whole cycle of chickens.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's why there's a say that cuando la gallina se come los huevos, aunque le quemes el pico. Because she liked it already.
Yeah. If the hen ate the eggs, she'll do it even if you burn her beak.
Mm-hmm. Even if you burn the beak.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was fun growing up. Thank God all brothers are still alive.
Mm-hmm. Healthy too, no?
Somehow.
For the most part.
Yeah.
No terminal illnesses.
No.
I don't think, right?
No. Thank God, no.
Just old.
Just getting old. Just getting old.
I think that's everyone, It's part of life.
It's part of life, and you have to accept it. Every time I see you guys, I'm like, damn, I'm getting old. I see you, I see Alex, and Alex 33.
Yep. Yeah, 33. Just celebrated a buddy's 30th birthday yesterday, and I was like,
yeah.
We went to school together, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck.
Well,
man, time's going.
Sebastian, you were with him since
like
kindergarten,
6,
right? Kindergarten.
First grade.
Mm-hmm.
Grade.
That's good. I didn't have friends for that long because we were moving around all the time.
Yeah, that's from all of the people that I've met. I would say that's probably the main reason that I still have all of my friends. I was very lucky that that you guys came out here prior to me being born, so I didn't establish any social circle anywhere, and I never left, or we never moved or left the area until I was an adult, and I left on my own. So, and also to add to that, the friends that I had, they also didn't move, which is kind of luck too, right?
Yeah,
and when they did, they actually moved closer.
Yeah,
so
and your friend Sebastian lived right across
down the street.
Down the street, yeah. And when we moved here, we were like the new kids on the block because everybody was older, older than the neighbors that when you hit with the hammer or beat his hand or what happened.
One I hit with the hammer, and the other one I bit. Both times were in defense, because the one I hit with the hammer, he was the bully of the block, because there were kids on the block, and we would all kind of like hang out. I think there was like 4 total that would hang out. It was me, Alex, and 2 other kids, and then
their kids. They had 2 kids, right?
Yeah,
a skinny one and a chubby one.
Yeah, and then the other kid, his name was Brandon. I remember we were in the garage, and the Alex and the other 2 kids, they were like, we're going to go inside and grab something real quick. And Brandon would like randomly come out, like when we were playing, he would like come out, and then he would just like mess with us, bully us, and then leave. He was just kind of like an asshole. And they were like, we're going to go inside real quick and grab something. We'll be right back. And I was like, what if Brandon comes? And they were like, hit him with a hammer. And I was like, okay. So sure enough, I'm sitting there, and I had a hammer already. It's like we were in the garage. They were like, there was a tool bench, I had the hammer, and I was like, and I see him walking over, and I was like, oh, he's going to come into the garage. And he walks up the driveway, and I just went and I swung it at him. Fuck you. And then he cried and ran off, and then
to his mom, and then they came and they're like, hey, he's coming to bully my kids. I mean, he's trespassing basically. So call the police.
Yeah.
And then they moved because it's funny, but they moved, but ended up that guy was a sexual
sex offender.
Sex offender. That's funny.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember, but we were here after the soccer games and stuff. We would come here and do carne asada and stuff.
Yeah.
And we would be laughing, speaking Spanish and everything. And then he'll come and start like, hey, what you guys, this and that. And we're like, man, just go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They weren't good people.
he wasn't unhappy. Yeah, he was very unhappy person.
Like we said, hurt people, hurt people.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. Those are good days. Those in here. Pool
But-
table.
Yeah,
Pool
but
table, carne asada, and everything.
Our remember the pool table would turn into the buffet
Dining table,
Yeah,
yeah.
dining table. Yes, nice.
It's a dining table and a ping pong table.
Yeah.
We got like a giant piece of composite board
4x8.
or something. Yeah.
You put it on top.
Put it on top
Put
and
a
we put
black tape and stuff.
Yeah. Masking tape for the lines, and then we just bought a net,
Yeah.
and it worked.
Yep, it was
worked.
perfect.
It was great, and then it would save the felt when we would eat.
Yeah.
So
You wanted to play pool, just remove the top. And
you take the table off. You had a pool table.
That was very good. Very good times.
Yeah. Yeah, those were really fun times. It's crazy.
I remember when you played with us as a goalie. Remember that Armando didn't show up.
Yeah.
You were 15, I think.
Yeah. I
And Tio Jorge is like,
was
hey.
benched. I was benched in high school. I was
Tio,
bummed, I remember.
Tio Jorge is like, hey, you want Eric to play goalie? Ask him. So I asked him, like, yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's go play.
And then I just told the defenders, I said, hey, let's create a curtain here, because Eric is gonna be goalie. Oh, okay. So everybody was like, really.
I think I saved like the one shot that they had on me. I think. Trying to remember. I remember being very excited to play, but also like I was going in my brain. I was like, this isn't varsity. Like, this isn't varsity in high school. I was like, this is the big boys. Like, this is the big. They're here to play.
Yeah.
There's no like aim for the school. It's like, this is where I let everything out from the week. I remember strong players. I miss it. I want to play soccer again. I've been working on my knees specifically because I've found that everything is still in here, right? But I don't have the strength on my left leg to do all the movements the way that I want. And then because I don't have the bend in the left ankle, I have to change my tactics and strategy a little bit based off of the way that I played.
Yes. And also, if you would be playing goalie, though, you would have to somehow put a sleeve, like a protective sleeve, thick, like foam resistant, so you wouldn't hurt your other leg.
Yeah.
In case.
Like land on it or something like that. Yeah. Because dude, split my shin the first time I had the blade on. At the same time, in my mind, I was like, why are you having us do this footwork if this is our first time with this? You know, the karaoke's where you're going sideways and you're crossing your feet over? They were like, okay, cool. We figured out how to like jog lightly. Do that sideways now.
With your blade?
With the blade, yeah. And I was like, okay. And it's the shape of the blade is not meant to cross over like in front of your good leg because it has a whole swoop on the back.
Yeah.
That's
you
space that
can get hooked, right? You can get hooked on.
Not that it'll get hooked. So that back swoop, when you go to cross your legs over, usually you point your toe down and that clears your heel from your shin.
Okay.
I can't. That swoop is fixed. So if my legs pass too close, that swoop hits the whole shin. It's just not good at all.
You basically have to kick out to clear your shin, right?
Yeah, I have to up and over, or I only keep that leg to the back. I'll only use I'll only cross.
And you'll be
right over left.
you'll be able to kick off. You can stand on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just
well,
tricky.
you know, maybe one day we should go and you're on the goalie and little by little and see how it feels.
Mm-hmm. I've already.
And then obviously you would need to find a
league that would let me play.
You would have to find not so much a league, but you have to learn to fly again.
Yep.
Or, well, you already know how to fly, but
you have to figure it out.
I'm gonna say how to land the plane.
Yeah.
Basically.
That one, more so that.
because I mean you're gonna use your thigh.
Still land on the thigh.
Yeah,
I just have to make sure that I clear my left leg from my
Yeah.
right. That's kind of like the main thing. And then just getting the strength on the left so I can push off to the left.
yeah.
As far as playing, I was talking to Sebastian, and we both figured like the easiest and probably the best place for me to get back in and play again is goals where I used to, the indoor, where there's like a circle that I can't leave from and people can't come into. So like it protects me, and then it also protects the other players too. So like nobody's gonna collide with me, and then I'm not worried about like kicking somebody with my prosthetic leg either,
Right.
which would suck for them.
No, well, the thing is that you could play on a regular field. The only thing is like if the forward is like too aggressive, just let him score. It's just like racquetball, you know. I didn't go for the fourth game because I felt a little pain in my lower back, and I said, I can't play anymore. Oh God, the last one,
So
yellow flag already. So I gotta listen to my body.
yup. That's something that I'm doing a lot better with, but still trying, like actively trying to do.
Yeah, we can go and we can take a few shots and see how you feel, and go from there.
I even thought,
I'm pretty sure you can kick the ball as well.
so that I know for sure I can do. I don't know if I told you, but a couple months ago,
You went to play with your buddies.
yeah. We were playing out there. That was nice. I didn't take my blade with me so that I wouldn't get like overexcited and
Right,
want to
right.
go really hard.
Like
So,
the first time that we went to play racquetball,
yeah.
and I was more concerned that you falling, and I was like, I wasn't even paying attention to play good. I was like, what the hell, Eric? Slow down, man.
I was so
and
excited.
I
to be
was
moving
like, I
again.
know. I could tell that you were excited, but I was also like, man, this guy's gonna fall. And you fell. You did fall. But it was just good that seeing you on your 2 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you made it your own. So
Yeah.
that's good. That's great.
Yeah, I forgot about that. The first time that I played racquetball, I did slip, and I remember exactly when I jumped up, and that's where I was like, oh, okay, things are like really, really different, because with the with the regular walking prosthetic, if you jump and you cut, like, your foot is already set for up plant. But the running blade is set to be on your toe. So when you jump and you come back down, if your foot is a little bit in front of you, you're not coming down actually on your foot, which is what happened to me. My foot was a little bit in front, and then I think the floor might have been a little wet, but the blade went forward. The blade went forward, and whatever like resistance and momentum it did get, it sent me backwards because of the way the foot was now hitting the ground. And there was just like no way to catch it. So that was something that was very interesting. But then on the blade, I can take that rubber part off. And I'm thinking of putting on the cleat and then tying the laces onto the little...
So you can have some grip, okay?
Yeah. That way I have like an actual cleat, you know?
Using the regular regular foot, not the blade, right?
No, using the blade.
Oh, using
that
the
way
blade,
I have
put it
more
on.
spring.
So, okay.
So I'll at least have the cleats on it. That way, if I'm on like grass, dirt,
So
or
you would
whatever.
have to adapt a shoe for the blade.
Kind of. I haven't tried it yet, but from the way I've thought of it, it won't actually, like, the heel part won't come on, but it has like a little, I guess like a little hook at the top, and that's how the other one, it slips on, and then there's a rubber that pulls up and grabs onto that hook, and that's what keeps everything tight. So I figured with the shoe, I could slide it on, like if it's a shoe, tighten the laces, and then for the heel, so it's not floppy, go under, pull up, and then tie onto that hook. That's what I thought. And so I could try that so that maybe it doesn't come off.
For your, yeah, and also put like a belt, and then like a suspender to tie it to. So if you're not gonna take a kick and then you forget, and then you try to kick with the left, and it goes flying.
What if you look into like, have you seen those like slip-on cleats that they make for hiking shoes that you for snow and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Maybe you
I
could
have
adapt
some of those.
something like that for the running blade.
I could, but I don't think it would give me enough traction on grass.
You don't think so?
No, unless I went for like really big spikes. But at that point, just take the bottom of the cleat.
Well, I was thinking they do make like more like cleat ones. Where
Yeah.
you,
Really?
yeah.
Where
I've
you
seen
can
them
where you can slip your blade
for like
and has the cleats, right?
like sand and like loose rock. They have like straight up cleats that you
Interesting.
slip on. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. See if
I'll
I
have to
can
look
find
at
them.
that.
I'll send you some.
I know that the blade itself, like Nike makes different shoes for it. Yeah, so like the one that I have right now is just like for they call it like hybrid running. It's just cross ground. It's good for like street, road, dirt, sand.
Hiking.
It's like for doing whatever. And then they have some like specifically for track where it's a lot thinner. It doesn't really have rubber, and it's just like a hard pad on the bottom with spikes. Yeah, so like the track runners will use
With the
that,
spikes.
but then those aren't even held on by the clip anymore. Those you super glue those on. That way, there's no type of slippage or anything. You just have direct return of energy from you.
I see.
Technology is crazy.
And I think we are behind in technology.
Oh, 100%.
You guys are gonna leave to see the. I was telling a guy at work yesterday. You will leave to see the teletransportation.
That's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna happen,
crazy.
and it's gonna happen.
You think so?
It will happen, because that exists someplace else. How do you think the aliens come to Earth? And they go to other places, not only Earth, but
That's true. That's true. I know that
it's gonna be
currently the
fun.
thought
It's gonna be funny and crazy. But remember, you're gonna go if you want to go to the other side of the world. And you go into a capsule
Oh,
and say, where do you want to go? I want to go to Greece. And then you put Greece, and then shows you all the towns where they have the capsules. And then you put, Crete. Then you press Crete, and then, okay, your payment is $1,000. Then you pay with your credit card. Capsule closes, and a few minutes, you're in Crete. It opens, welcome to Greece.
what the heck?
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I'm just curious as to how you can make that possible without harming a living creature, because you would have to disassemble the map.
It's a mass transportation.
Okay,
It's going to be
That's a
crazy.
trip.
Yeah,
that's a trip.
I like and I believe that aliens
Me too.
created the Earth. One of those aliens was God.
Yeah, that is a speculation and an argument. Yeah, that God is an alien, and well, I like to go. If you want to get real conspiracy, I like to go that aliens came here and they made humans so that they could use the humans to cultivate the land and start mining it for materials that they needed, and then once there were nothing left here, they were just gone.
In Mexico and the volcano, they've seen something going in and out of the volcano.
The heck?
They're thinking it's a station, alien station,
Extraterrestres.
extraterrestres.
Well, this is the same thing with the ocean too.
The ocean, yeah.
Same thing with
There's
the ocean.
there's a lot of things we as humans we don't know yet. And then again, going back to all those conspiracies and everything, I think COVID was created so you could move faster into technology, because we were being left behind.
Interesting.
So before COVID, there was only TV Azteca, Televisa, and that was pretty much it. That was like an empire. So if you were a singer, you had to go to Siempre en Domingo in order for you to be known. So what happened after COVID or during COVID? There was a lot more internet, more people working from home, more exposure to bad and good things because it was viral, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, we found that not everything needed to be done in person anymore. You can do so much with communicating online.
So I don't know if you ever seen the Jetsons.
A long time ago.
Okay, so that is going to happen, but you know why it hasn't happened? Because we're not ready.
Okay,
we
I can
we
see
are
that.
we are
I
on
could
baby
see that.
we are on baby steps on that, and you know who that is?
Elon.
Tesla.
Yeah. So I know
But-
Musk had said that there's never going to be flying cars though. That makes sense to me because the way people take care of their cars now, those things would be fun.
There is
it would
already
have to be like government ran.
No, but there is already a it takes a whole different
A completely different infrastructure.
yeah,
At that point,
exactly.
I don't think.
So there's
Personally, if there were flying cars, I don't think people should own them nor maintenance them. It would be like that is you've gotten to a utopian level and
Japan.
flying
See
cars.
how they have the train.
Oh yeah,
The train stops and then a door opens and the key gets delivered to his house, and then the floor closes again and there goes the train. It's crazy. I mean, they're more advanced than we are.
100%. Japan and China are most of Asia is far ahead of us in electronics, and that's also because we've had them create all of our electronics. There's zero manufacturing in the U.S. for any electronics, to the point now that even the manufacturing for all of our vehicles, whether they are U.S. made, is no longer made in the U.S. Funny enough, I think it was NVIDIA. They wanted to bring business to the U.S., and the U.S. had a chip manufacturing company open up specifically for that. NVIDIA signed contract with them. The first order that was done was, if I'm not mistaken, the processor or the chip, whatever was made, was not strong or not as strong as to what NVIDIA was getting before overseas. So they were like, sorry, you're costing us more and the performance isn't there, so we're going back. And that just goes to show how far behind we are on production.
And also, if you produce something here in the USA, it's going to be more expensive because you need to pay the employees, the labor in dollars. And let's put an example. Let's say Vietnam. With what you pay here, one employee 1 hour, you pay these guys 1 day.
Yep.
And
The
so,
whole factory.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why the company I used to work for, they would get most of the furniture from Vietnam. So these guys went from, their growth was from 20% to 500%. And they were making
That's ridiculous.
millions of dollars, because they would buy one couch from Vietnam and pillows with feathers, real feathers. They would buy it for like $200, $300, and sell it here for $8,000. How crazy is that?
Damn.
How crazy is that?
I thought it was gonna mark up a couple hundred. I was like, okay, like a feather couch, maybe 800, a grand. $8,000 is crazy.
Because I know that's why when people were looking for work and they were like, how much are you asking? I'd be like, 70. I'd be like, I'll give you 90. Like, what?
Well, even a more recent example, Eric, like that little tiny sewing machine that I bought, $20, right?
True.
I bought it AliExpress. It was on sale for $20. It was like half off, so you could buy it AliExpress for $40. So they probably spent $5 at most making it.
If anything.
And then I went and I looked because it had the model number for the machine. I looked it up online, and it's like $80 on Amazon, $90 online. So
Yeah.
I told Eric, I was like, I would have been pissed off if I would have spent $90 on this thing.
Yeah.
See, so that's how I mean, it's impossible to bring all the businesses back into the USA because the things would be more expensive.
Yeah.
So with all this, the fighting with the countries in Canada and everything, you know what? Why don't you countries invest and create businesses at the border so you can give jobs to the immigrants and they're going to be living there. And your product is going to be owned by Mexico, USA, Canada, but it's going to be produced right at the border,
Yeah.
not across seas. And then with that same investment, you can build houses and sell these houses to the people that are working for you and have a really good infrastructure. Because, I mean, you saw the video I sent you.
Yeah.
That was funny. It's like we finally got our jobs back. Our stolen jobs back. And there's like white people cleaning restrooms and you know picking all the vegetables. Roofers and stuff.
Funny.
All the jobs that
I thought it was funny that everybody in the video was fat. That's what I thought was really funny.
yeah. That's weird.
Yeah, that's a very good approach to that issue though of out of country labor. That's a great approach.
Unfortunately, some governments they need to create problems so you can find a solution.
Yes, there's a lot of people that believe that that's what the homeless issue is in California. Homelessness
Drugs, gun violence, school
those
issues,
two, yeah.
trans rights. Those are never going to be solved.
It's tough.
They make too much money.
But also, in the same way, you can't just go this way. You know, you can't just put your blinds on the sides and ignore everything. But unfortunately, we are not in a position of helping this situation. It's I wish someone had like a vision of how can we solve this problem, you know?
I think it doesn't only take somebody with the right vision. It also has to do with kind of like how we were talking about the chicken, right? If there's a chicken that already has the taste of the egg, it's going to ruin all the other chickens. So if there's somebody that's already dipping their hands in and lining their own pockets when they're supposed to be looking out for the entire populace of the country, or we'll say just the city, say you're a mayor, but somehow you're finding a way to play the game and make more money than what your salary is because you're moving things around in the policies so that so-and-so company can do a certain thing, or you gave so-and-so the contract to repave wherever, so now you got a little kickback on it. Like, that also has to get removed from power as well, because anytime there is corruption in any form of leadership, then it poisons the rest of the environment.
Yeah.
So it does take a vision, but it also takes cleaning house.
Yeah. Remember one thing, that power is not for everyone.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was one thing that Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum, she went to a meeting for the G20, and she talked about let's plant life.
Hmm.
So she told everyone why we are so worried about investing in weapons. It's just like, why don't we contribute to 1% of the money that is going to weapons in buying, planting trees, planting life?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we know that the global warming, it's real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we
Predominantly from deforestation too. So
yeah.
putting trees back makes a lot of sense.
And so I hope something happens and there's people that she was an eye opener, because you can't just take something from Mother Earth
And not give back.
and not get back. You have to, if you cut 2 trees, plant 4.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Because there was a little girl that she said, si tú tienes que querer a la tierra, porque la tierra es tu madre. Y si chingas a la tierra,
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta love the earth.
it
because the earth
dice,
is mother.
y si chingas a la tierra, pues chingas a tu madre.
Yeah,
So,
makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Makes
So it's
a
like
lot of sense.
shooting yourself on the foot.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just take and not give out.
Yeah, it's like if you have one cow, you love milk, but you want steak, so you kill the cow.
You lose
That's
it.
it.
You have
You screwed
steak.
everything. Yeah,
but
you got
that's
steak.
it. You're gonna or
Cow's
or
gone.
to have the cow and milk the cow and don't feed her.
Yeah, you're not
So
gonna have
it
any more
needs to
milk.
be a friendly circle.
Mm-hmm.
You feed the cow gives you milk, cheese, and stuff.
Take care of the things that take care of you, and they'll keep taking care of you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever have I'm sure you did, but like an opportunity to go like in cow pastures or anything like that? Did you guys ever were you around farms at all?
We had friends in Mexico City. We had friends that we went to collect the aguamiel
¿Qué es aguamiel?
from the magueyes, the agave.
Oh, okay.
So there's something called the quiote.
Mm-hmm.
It's like right on the center. It's when it's really mature. So it comes out and it grows maybe like 6 to 7 feet. And some are bigger, up to like 10 feet. Once they grow all the way up, they give you flowers. It's really crazy.
Interesting.
But so when the quiote is about to start coming out, so you cut it and you start scraping, creating like a little
hole or a little pit.
A little pit, yeah. And then with a leaf, agave leaf, put it on the top, put a rock, and it starts creating aguamiel, which later becomes pulque. So we would go, Tío Jorge and myself, we had two friends, and we would go with them, and they had cows as well. So yeah, we grew. We had there was a donkey that kicked we tried to mount the donkey. He'll throw us down.
Took off.
Yeah, and also a horse, que tía Raquel.
For real?
Yeah,
What the heck?
she was little.
Bro. Okay, how? What happened?
She was just curious, and she got too close to the horse, and the horse kicked the crap out of her.
Toma.
And then I hit Tia Raquel and took all these teeth and pushed them in. One on a swing. I was on a swing, and the chair was like the metal ones.
Uh-huh.
And I'm already like swinging, right? And she's like crossing. I said, "Hey, Raquel, watch out!" And she turns around. And she's like, "Shh, right here."
Mocos. Oof.
And all the teeth were inwards.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah, we played a game called Suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, a horrible name, right? Just off of the name, you can tell.
Yeah.
There was six. It was like 6 or 8 swings, but the freaking tall ones. And you wanted to be one of the first people to get to the swing, because if you were on the swing, then you were cool. Basically, you could think about it as like everyone's swinging, and the goal is to run through the swings without getting kicked.
Yeah, that's suicidal.
Yeah, yeah, and I typically got to a swing, which was cool. And if I didn't get a swing, I wouldn't run. I was like, I'm not getting kicked. I was like, I'm not.
Did you guys ever have swing fights?
Yeah. So suicide eventually turned into swing fights because some of the runners discovered that if you timed it right and you pushed the legs when the swing was coming by, you would like hardcore spin the person as they go up, and you could like throw them out of the swing, and then they could get the swing and get on it and go.
Oh no. Basically, you would have the swings that had like it would like set of 2, a mid bar, and a set of 2. Basically, you would get in the 2 swings that were next to each other and start going as high up, and then start spinning and
so
trying to grab onto each other.
That's where we
pull
ended
each other
at.
off
That's
the
where we
swing.
ended at from somebody discovering that like you can throw somebody from the side, and then they were like, oh, we can spin on these things, and then somebody else was like, I'm gonna stop trying to go for the runners, and I'm gonna go for whoever's next to me. And they would swing, and then you would just start kicking your legs out to the side, and you would start vortexing.
I remember when Alex and his friend used to. It was crazy. I just looked and felt the pain. Remember they used
Sliding?
to, yeah,
On the knees?
Yeah, they would wet the driveway and throw a whole bunch of soap. And they had gloves,
and knee pads with like washers,
metals,
and,
metal glued onto the gloves, and they had knee pads with metals.
So they were training for Halloween Haunt.
So
That's crazy.
one of Alex's friends was like one of the not one of the original scare dudes, but he worked Not Scary Farm, and he knew one of the people that started sliding at Knott's, and then so they were all practicing and doing that, and then Alex got really into scaring as well, and he did a couple of haunted houses, and I was too young. I liked it. I thought it was really cool. But I remember you and Mom were like, don't do that. You're going to ruin your knees. And I was like, fine, whatever. So I didn't slide, but I always thought it was super cool because they would set up like an ice chest, or they would put the trash can, and they would run, jump, and land on their knees and slide and do spins. And I was like, that's so cool. But like now, like what's actually happening to the body, like physically. And you're like, oh my God, it's cool. But like those joints are going to go pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never did any sliding, but I did do some haunted houses. I remember every year I would set up in the driveway with a couple of buddies, or at least I would try to. I'd be like, yo, you down? We're going to do a haunted house this year. If I had 2 people that were down with me, like we'd run it. And we would a whole bunch of tarps. I had fog machines. Come to think about it, I've been producing my whole life, actually. Yeah, because I was saving money from doing jobs with you, working tile, electrical, drywall, paint, whatever it was, putting up ceiling fans, and then I would buy like masks, strobe lights, decorations, fog machines, lights. That's so funny. Yeah, and I would set up like my own little haunted house because I couldn't go and work anywhere. They were like, "You're 13, bro. No. You're 14, bro.
My
no,
mom
where's
was
your
wanting
parents?"
to do that for the longest time. Set something up at the
Really?
house. Yeah. I'm gonna tell her you're
fun.
down.
I am down. It's fun, dude. It's so much fun. Yeah. To me, it all like comes back to playing pretend. That's what I boiled movies down to, and that's why I like movies and want to make them, because it's just pretend.
Yeah.
It's just imagination.
Imagination, yeah. Where everything can happen.
Exactly. There is nothing.
No limits.
Yeah. There's nothing that can't be here. all possibilities. Which is, I guess, what we want for life, right? So that's why we have that fascination and that want of that wonder. And
The thing is, we every single life is just like a fingerprint. All of them are different.
mm-hmm.
And by you being you and looking for your happiness or creating your happiness is unique.
Mm-hmm. And I had
Although other people would look like, well, you would have a Ferrari, and that would make a city person success in business happy.
mm-hmm.
But I don't think the car is gonna give that happiness. If you would get a shepherd that lives in the mountains, breathing clean air, raising his own vegetables,
Mm-hmm. This guy's a little herd of goats.
his own fruit, make his own cheese and stuff, his own food. He's
Mm-hmm.
self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
So if you change this guy's life for the guy with the Ferrari, he's just gonna look at the Ferrari like,
It's like, what the fuck?
I'm so miserable.
Yeah. What is
So
this?
yeah. So even though it's a lot of money and success and everything, it's not his happiness.
Mm-hmm. You can go vice versa, which is so interesting because that
Yeah,
businessman that
exactly.
worked his whole life to get that Ferrari would look at the guy and go, man, that must suck. He's got to take care
Yeah.
of all that stuff all the time. He's got to make his cheese if he's hungry, and he's got to do this and that. But him, he's like, man, I get to make cheese today. You know,
Yeah, but that's when you
it's a change in perspective.
and when you're so rich, but you at the end you depend on everybody and everybody else, because when you don't have money, you're not gonna have anything.
Yeah. It reminds me of a scene from, I don't know if it's a show or a movie, but there's a yacht like sinks or something like that, and the crew gets stranded on an island. And the only person that knows anything about survival was, they were calling her the toilet lady. And she was a Filipina. And she starts making fire. She makes a shelter. She catches food. And then fast forward, and they're all sitting there eating. And one of the ladies goes, "Hey, why do you have all the food?" And she goes, "Because I did all of the work." And she goes, Don't forget who you are, though. You're the toilet lady. You need to share that. I'm the captain. That's the first mate. You need to give them food." And she goes, "Look where we are. Do you see a boat? There's no boat here. So what are you?" She goes, "I'm the captain." She goes, "No, you don't know how to do anything. I did everything. So who's the captain?" And one of the other guys goes, "You're the captain." She goes, "Very good." Throws him food.
Yeah. See, the thing is that when you know how to do things that other people would see as, oh man, you're cleaning toilets. Oh man, you're cooking for me. You're cleaning for me. You're doing this for me. And when it's your turn to do it and you don't know, then you're kind of screwed. So I think that most of the success people, and then again, the success comes in many forms. Because for someone being successful is finish school.
Yeah.
Okay, and then everything else will come on as an addition to your success, to your personal success. For other people, it's maybe like we mentioned before, it's to get at a $1 million mark.
Yeah.
And then you had success, you had succeed to something, but how much did you pay to get to that success? I've seen that Chinese people,
Put your mic forward a little bit.
that
In your throat. You can-
Chinese people, they're successful, but they pay a high price for it.
Yeah.
Because
Sacrifice.
when they come to the U.S., they eat rice and sometimes chicken, but that's all they eat.
Yeah.
That's all they eat. So they become slaves of their own success, in a way. You want to be able to live, to do what you like to do, and share.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of the most important parts that you need to share.
Yeah.
So you can keep it going,
Yeah.
keep the momentum going. It's a good chain link.
Mm-hmm.
When you stop, this is what I tell my coworkers at work. You need to be like moving water, because moving water is always fresh.
Yep.
It's always clean.
Mm-hmm.
If you are stationary, at one point
Starts to get murky.
you're gonna stink.
Yep. You gonna have bugs. Yep. You know, I think in my my young adult life, like early 20s, I had the realization that everyone is living their own uniquely individual life. Or, yeah. And after that, that's when I really started to understand that it's not always about you, because people are going through things. And then that led me to understanding how important community is in your life. And it's funny because oftentimes when I say community around people, like, oh, I'm very happy with the community I've been able to build, or the community that I keep around me. They're like, oh, like the city that you're in? I'm like, no. I get that. Like, you live in a community, but like when I talk about it, is your community is the circle of people that you surround yourself with. You know, your unit, essentially, your tribe, if you may. And it's very important.
It's funny that you mentioned, but it's about how you use the word. And a lot of people say, oh, well, this is my community. Okay, so this is my community.
Yeah.
This is my community. In other words, my social circle. And then my community where I live.
Yeah.
This is my community, my closer community to me.
Yeah.
So your close friends. Yeah. It's real.
Well, that's why I say, what is it? It takes a tribe to raise a kid. And one I really like is Rome wasn't built in a day. Usually people leave it there, but I added on, it also wasn't built by one person.
Yeah.
You know,
And also
you need people.
many ways lead to Rome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also very, very true. Yeah, it's hard to do something by yourself, especially when, just how we were talking, if you don't know how to do the thing, right? If you were never a chef, that's just not what you do. And you go into the kitchen, how would you ever know, right? But with that, somebody's skills doesn't put them at a lower or higher value than you.
Exactly. See, there's also people that working is
That's
happiness.
what they like to do, yeah.
Happiness. And they don't have to worry about money because they're already working all the time.
Yeah.
You probably don't have time to enjoy the
Spend
money.
money.
But I mean, if you're happy working all the
Yeah.
time, then that's fine. I don't understand
Yeah.
that. Then again, there is jobs that you love. Let's say if you were a radio host, and you like poetry.
Mm.
So you say a poem every time you put a nice song or whatever, and
Yeah,
something
yeah.
comes out of you. But if you like that, then you're happy, and you don't worry about money
Yeah.
because the money comes to you because you're doing what you love.
Mm-hmm.
As easy as that.
Yeah.
And if you're at a place, you can also make it your happy place. Why? Because there's some things that you like what you do, well, I did customer service for many years. So I'm like, okay, so what am I doing here that I I need to adjust? I'm not gonna say that I don't like. So you find that. Then you adjust it where other people will be like, damn, I didn't see that one coming.
Mm-hmm.
That was so smart, so easy. You make it look so easy. And all I gotta say is like, because it is. You just have to find the way.
That is true. That is true. This is,
With everything.
yeah.
With everything.
I think, yeah.
Just like you did. Just like I did. When whatever happened to me and whatever happened to you, you have to be in peace with you to start with,
Mm-hmm.
to find your own happiness. I can be in my room and not to speak one word for a whole day, or I can be just sitting down on my couch and looking at the TV, and the TV is off.
That's one of the funniest things.
Okay, so
that's one of the
so
funniest things that you've ever told me.
Yeah,
Like,
so that's how.
that was, oh man.
Sometimes
Hilarious.
I find myself, I know I'm not going nuts. I'm just sitting down and looking at the TV, and I'm just traveling or something. And then
Yeah.
oh damn, I haven't even turned on the TV.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? Then I come to realize I am happy. I am content with who I am, where I am, because I got everything.
Mm.
I got family. I got my kids.
And where do you
I got a job. I needed a job. That's all I needed because I had family. I had people. I love people that love me.
You just needed some fun tokens, you know?
Yeah.
That was it.
And then you just make some adjustments to whatever you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you can make it happen. That's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is possible.
I'm going to share that story really quick because it was hilarious. I can't remember if I was with Alex or Juliana, but I had to tell them. I've told both of them. And I texted you one day and I was like, hey, Paz, how you doing? You're like, good. And I was like, oh, what are you doing? And you're like, I'm just sitting here watching. You said, I'm sitting here watching the TV. And I went, oh, what are you watching? And you said, oh, nothing. Just watching it. And I was like, oh my God. That's so funny. No, I wasn't even like, my dad's going like nuts. I was like, that is so funny that it like, to me, I miss it. You're like, I'm watching the TV. So like I should have gotten it there. And then I told Alex and Juliana and they were like, that's hilarious. That's such a dad answer. It's like, yeah.
And
funny.
sometimes I'm just there and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make some beans. And I just get up and do some fried beans and stuff. Then I finish and then I go back and sit down and I'm watching TV, but I'm somewhere else. I don't know where. But I'm like, man, I should do some scrambled eggs with ham. And I just get up and do it. Just leave it cooked, and I'm not even hungry, right? But I'm like, tomorrow I'm going to play racquetball for sure because this is not good. So
You're just meal prepping. That's what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, you create your not. I'm not gonna say your safe spot, but your.
It is a
I
safe
don't know,
spot.
it's-
A sanctuary,
you-
your temple,
Yeah,
whatever you want to call
your temple. Yeah. I know I'm safe everywhere I am, unless homeless crosses decides to push
it. Push his car across the street.
I am just so glad that I didn't hit this guy. I mean, his person.
Yeah. Yeah. That everyone was okay.
Yeah.
That's the important part. Yeah. Yeah. Happiness is
It's yours. I think it's on every one
it's
of
a
us.
choice.
It's on every one of us. It's just your choice to be happy and look for your happiness within.
Mm-hmm.
Because going back to the little things, you gotta see everything that's around you. And one thing that happened to me, I had help from Tio Ricardo and Tia Raquel, you guys, and the key of happiness and well-being is not to have one friend that lend you $1,000, but have 1,000 friends that lend you $1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when I thanked them, they said, "You don't have to thank. You did so much for us already. We were just waiting for you to receive our help. Because you know how I am."
Mm-hmm.
And
I do.
sometimes being and I was told that being so
Giving.
not so much being so self
Selfless.
we can say selfless, because I was just thinking about myself, and you know what,
Well, that would be selfish. Selfless is not thinking about yourself and only thinking about others.
well, selfish,
Okay.
not proud.
Ah. Okay.
So I understood that I needed to be proud, but proud of the people that I had around me. Because there was not a doubt for them to give me a hand. Because I was in the other side, or they were in the other side. They were in my shoes many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And we had everything. Well, we thought we had everything, but we didn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can say that for what I went through with my family and my dad, I want to think that I've been with for my kids as much as I could. If I could change some things that I did in the past, I wouldn't work nights.
Mm.
That would have made my time better with my first child, which was Alex.
I see. It does make sense.
But
Nights are bad.
but you don't go to school for life, right?
Nope.
Until
You have to learn it.
until you write it and leave it one day at a time.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're lucky enough to have somebody that walks you through the whole way.
And then what we said, that you become a provider, you worry about having food on the table, a roof over your head, and everything, get you guys to school, and then you get lost in the sea.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book that I started writing, and I just stopped.
Why did you stop?
Because I'm still falling and learning to fly again. So when that happens, it's like on a needed stop.
Okay.
And speaks about the life of a simple man. But the book is called From Heaven to Hell, We Are All Fallen Angels.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we are born, we're angels. And when you start
Born pure.
you start growing, and then you do bad things, you start losing your feathers to the point of you can't fly anymore, and you start falling. And sooner or later, or at one point, you're going to find another fallen angel. Mm-hmm. And together are going to learn to fly again.
That's a very unique take I know you've mentioned your book before, and I remember the title, but I don't think I've ever asked or you've ever explained your reasoning for that title. That's very deep.
Yeah.
It's very deep. That's something that that's one of the, it happens. It happens every once in a while, but it's one of those lines where I hear it and I just want to sit and ponder. Like I don't really have a response. I just want to ponder that thought of like how to me it's like it's a very heavy line because well, first the realization, you go to think about it, we'll go in a religious sense, right? The only pure soul is a newborn child because it hasn't done anything wrong. And inherently, and it says it in the Bible, I believe, unless I'm misquoting, but human nature is bad. Like by nature, humans are bad.
We have the tendency of choosing bad over good.
Mm-hmm. But you can look at animals because we are animals, and that's what nature is, you know? Like a bear in the woods, if there's a deer that just had its little fawn and the bear happens to come up upon it, the bear's not going to go, "Oh, that's a newborn."
Yeah.
It goes, "Snack. I have
Yeah.
food." And the mom takes off.
Yeah.
Doesn't try and defend her, and gone.
Now that you mention animals, I saw a program, and that was from start to end, where this guy who's making the program, the documentary, it's birds.
Okay.
I don't remember where I think it was in Brazil. So they fall in love and they fly around and everything. And they have two little birds, right? And the mom is on the nest. The dad is hunting. And it was something funny. I kind of put it into the human. I was like, this bird is human. So the bird, she was at the nest with the two babies, and a crow flew and stopped nearby. And then took off, and it was flying around the nest, and the mom got scared and took off.
So the crow goes in.
The crow started going in, and when the dad saw the mom flying, he's like, "What the hell? Something happened." And the first thing he did, he flew straight to the nest. And the crow had already taken one of the chicks. So the dad stayed at the nest and took care of the one left. Then the mom came back and stopped at one of the branches, and she saw that dad was covering the nest, and she wanted to fly, and dad took off and like, "Get the hell out of here." I was like, "Wow, that was a human scene."
Yeah. Birds are very interesting. I know there's a handful of them that they like soulmate. So they'll have a partner, and it's the only one they'll have. If something happens to that bird, they'll never find another bird, just because.
Unlike the roosters.
Roosters go for anything. I mean, roosters. I think people say that chickens are supposed to be like raptors, or not? Is it raptors?
Yeah,
Velociraptors?
I think so.
Something like that. There's an update on the computer. But yeah, chickens were like raptors, which I believe.
Velociraptor or something like
that. Yeah. Vicious little things.
Yeah.
I like the videos of them eating mice. That's crazy. Or if they see rats, dude, they go crazy.
Fighting eagles or falcons.
Oh my god. Yeah, those were the pterodactyls.
The moms, when they have the little chicks.
What?
And the chicken, when the eagle or the falcon comes and tries to eat,
Oh, yeah.
they're
Yeah,
ferocious.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And eagles are beautiful creatures too, man.
Yep.
Freaking big. Big. They get so big that I believe, somewhere in Europe, they're so large they can get small children.
Mm-hmm.
Small children, and then there's the ones that throw goats off of the side of the mountains.
You're thinking of harpy eagles.
Yeah, big old things.
Yeah.
Yeah, animal nature is cruel. It's I would say that's
Survival.
the real world.
Survival.
Yeah, survival. So if you go to just instinctual for humans, it's kind of the same, because at the end of the day, we're like encoded, genetically encoded to survive, reproduce, and protect our kids. Why? So that the lineage can continue forward. That's why there's those emotions attached to kids, and why when something is happening and you're concerned about your kid, like that's why there is such a large inherent concern instilled in you for a child. It is essentially you're looking over the continuation of your genetic line. But it's never really thought of that way.
Yesterday I was started watching this movie Alpha.
Alpha.
It's crazy. It's about the hunters, with the buffalo hunters in the early years.
Mm-hmm.
The people are dragging themselves on the floor to where the buffaloes were pasting or eating.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy gives the sign, the go. And they surrounded all the buffaloes and pushed them to the cliff. All the buffaloes fell into the cliff. And all these people were already near the cliff. But one of the buffaloes didn't go and turn around.
Mm-hmm.
And the son of the tribe chief had fallen behind, and he was on the floor. And the buffalo turned around and saw him and went and got him. Got him with the horns, and then hooked him up. And guess what he did?
Throw him off the cliff.
Threw him off the cliff.
Yep.
And I'm like, what the hell? So this is how it feels for the dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, I don't need to see this. So I turn it off. I went to see like los ADN. So it's like this little guy like, ¿qué vas a hacer con tus 50 pesos? Me voy de parranga.
That's funny.
It's supposed to be parranda.
Yeah.
But the little kid is so small. Like, ¿qué vas a hacer con tus 50? Me voy de parranga.
Man, that's me with El Demonio, bro. That never left me. I was telling a scary story to our cousins. I was like 16. I didn't know Spanish. I still don't know Spanish that well. I know enough to get around, but telling them a scary story, and I'm trying to figure out words that I never thought of saying demon in Spanish before. I had no need to, right? So I'm telling the story, and I'm like, y luego se salió un demonio. And yeah, and Marito goes, y la corbata no? Okay. And I was like, huh? And everyone's laughing, and I was like, I don't get it. And Isaac was like, you said bow tie. And he asked he was like, what about the regular tie? And I was like, but I said, that's not demon? I was like, what? I was so confused. And he was like, no, I still don't get it. One is an enya, one is a hard N, but I don't know where it falls in. So like,
Moños tie.
okay.
Yeah. So
it'd be demono.
Demonio.
Okay. Demonio.
A demon.
Yeah.
Demonio.
Yeah. That follows me forever.
It's just a little.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. It's funny. I throw it out there. Me and Alex will be, we'll just be like watching TV or something, and we'll like, a pot will move or something like that. I'm like, un demonio. It's funny.
Yeah.
Good times. That movie Alpha. I didn't know it by the title name, but once you started describing the scene, I was like, oh, I know this movie. It's a heavy movie. I won't spoil it in case you want to finish watching it, but it's good.
Oh, I just took that message, and that was enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
That was enough. It was you could see it on the buffalo's eyes. Like I'm gonna make your father feel what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
You guys threw all my brothers into the cliff.
Well, it's really weird that humans try and separate themselves from animals, or most people don't think of humans as animals, because I'm going to say because we have language that we can understand, right? You can actually share your thoughts and animals can't. So that's why you think it's different. But when you spend time with a dog or observing animals in the wild, or if you have a cat or birds, even they have personalities and they feel things. So it makes a lot of sense when, you'll see a scene in a movie and it's almost like revenge, where the buffalo goes, I know I'm not going to live beyond this point, but I'm going to use everything that I have now to show you what you did to me.
Yeah, to show you the pain I'm going through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, those are the, unfortunately, those are the things that make you grow the most as a person, though. This is the most painful experiences. I guess if you're willing to learn from them.
I think first of all we need to learn to live with humans.
Stop killing each other.
Well,
back to spending so much money on weapons, right?
Yeah.
Like the only reason
fight hunger.
Yeah.
If you want to send a missile, send 100,000 tons of rice and beans and stuff like that to Africa,
that
to
would start
poor countries.
Changing the way things are going right now, and relationships. If instead of doing threats or saying you better not or I'll do this, just going like, what do you guys need?
I think
How
we
can
need.
I help you?
I think we need some aliens to come and abduct all these people and kind of give them a nice.
Okay, I was thinking more so aliens like coming in so that we all have a like same person to attack. I was like, I guess, but we'd probably lose to aliens. I'm not gonna lie. Alien tech would probably wipe out any.
I think they're watching us.
Probably.
I don't know if they let us destroy.
No.
The whole world with a third atomic bombs and stuff.
That's
I mean missiles. They're like.
It's fine.
That's fine.
Whatever. You can blow some stuff up. That's cool.
I wonder what would happen if somebody's like ready to throw an atomic bomb.
I know
because in Germany they are the first ones that had a contact with aliens.
Do you know like when, as far as time goes? Is for what I know, most alien sightings started happening after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which is why people think that aliens are watching over us to make sure that we don't destroy the world. Pretty much, they were like they, because they have different tech, they just sensed a radioactive spike, or they just saw a huge explosion. They're like, all right, we got to make sure these guys don't
kill each other.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I can tell you is that they are way more advanced than us.
Mm-hmm. We probably don't even talk.
Because remember I told you what Tesla discovered many years after, they did with the pyramids.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's fucking crazy, actually.
Like transmitting from pyramids to another pyramid, like wireless electricity.
Supposedly, they're all generators.
Wireless, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wireless electricity.
Yeah,
that exists because I mean, if you get a wire and you put it closely then the intensity or the power.
That's true. It can
How
jump.
how much exactly? So that's wireless electricity. So that will go zzz and start powering this one. So I saw a program and they explain everything that you're like, you know what? That makes total sense. And then you see Tesla.
So the tops of the pyramids are missing as well, are they not? Because they're not perfect points.
No, like the pyramid in Mexico is flat. You've been there, right?
Yes, but we didn't go up, and I was very young.
Okay, we have to go back
I
again.
want to go back.
When you're on the top of the pyramid, you can feel the energy. It's so crazy. It's very crazy.
I'm wondering if back in ancient Egypt, there's literally just arcs of electricity between the three pyramids. Maybe they had some type of metal conductor at the top.
Probably.
Right.
They're lines connected to a chamber, and they fill it with water, and produce a vibration that creates electricity.
But,
From
okay.
it's crazy. It's really crazy.
All right. I know they found like batteries, or what they think were or are batteries there. There's like clay pots about this big with like tar and cables and stuff running through and copper inside.
So, these guys are way advanced. Like you're gonna remember when there's this mass traveling device. You'll be like, "Dad, my dad was right." I'm not gonna be here to see it, but you guys will.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Because they're telling us what's gonna happen in the movies.
Yeah. So that's okay. That's another thing that I also find really weird is somebody told me once that all they're doing with media, television, and movies is preparing you for what they're planning on doing next.
Let me ask you something. How do you feel when you go through an earthquake? So it's an unexplicable feeling, right?
Yeah.
You can describe it.
It's like, this is weird.
I don't understand it.
Yeah, like what
What's
do
going
I do?
on? Yeah, exactly.
Like I know that like, okay, I should find a safe place to go under, but like also, what if this just comes down too anyway? So like what? I don't know.
What your reaction be if you see a freaking robot running through the street like shooting people? What would you like?
Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
So we're not ready for that, but they already created movies, right? This
RoboCop.
Battle of Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, Battle of LA. Yeah, that was
Now
alien invasion.
now that might not be aliens, but that could be
That's true. Different country.
different countries attacking the way things are going.
Yeah. So Albert Einstein said, I don't know how. What is it? I don't know how. I'm butchering this for sure, but it's World War III will be fought with nukes, and World War IV will be sticks and stones, something like that.
Yeah, like the new beginning. If one was the flood, this could be
The
the radiation.
true. Yeah, Fallout.
Radiation.
It would be a winter technically, right? A radioactive winter, because there would be so much
Radioactive rain, in all over the world.
Yep.
And now that you mentioned Einstein, one time he was giving a class, right? And he's with the students, and it's like 9 times 1 equals 9. Everybody's paying attention because he's a freaking eminence, right? And it's like 9 times 1 equals 9. 9 times 2 equals 18. And when it goes to 9 times 10 equals 91. And everybody starts laughing and like making fun of him and everything.
Mhm.
So after they laughed and everything, he stood there. He didn't say a word. And then everybody quiet. And he said, I'm going to explain to you one thing. When I started writing the table, and I didn't make a mistake 9 times, no one said anything. But when I made one mistake, everybody noticed it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes life is like that.
Mm-hmm. That's for me, that line has been my existence since I was 14. So I played goalie, and as a goalie, I would say that's the most thankless position you can play.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how good you did. You're only remembered for the
you know
ones
what,
you
this
didn't
is
save.
this is part of life too. Because if you work and you do everything right, and you make a mistake, you're like, what the hell, you made a mistake? Well, yeah. But if you say, well, I made a mistake, but I made 10 things, good things, you're like, well, I pay you for that.
Yeah.
So it's part of life. Then again, how you take things is going to shape your book. And on the other side, you're the writer.
Yeah.
You can either be a hero or a zero, because it's your book and it's your life.
That's true. You can write it however you want, and you can be whatever character you want.
Yep, that is true.
I feel like that's a beautiful place to wrap this all up. I have one final question. During your period of time on this earth, what's something that you've learned that's helped you live a better life?
The mistakes I made. Not only to learn the mistakes I've made, but to learn not to make them again.
Yeah.
And keep on looking for the small things.
I like that. I like that a lot. Thanks, Papa.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
This is a great conversation, of course.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we
Just
talked
sat down
much.
and talked like this. Huh?
Yeah.
That's why I like this. I get to force people to come and sit down and talk with me.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Love you,
And
Papa.
and I love you too, son. Invite some people and say, this is the No Lie podcast.
It's true.
The only truth.
This is the only
podcast.
Truths, funnies, free, open space.
Yep. No, thank you very much for inviting me.
Thanks for
It was
coming,
fun.
Papa. It was.
Thank you.
Loved it. Love you. We'll do
Love
it
you
too.
too. Yeah.